Hi. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the project that you're going to be working on throughout the semester for statistics class. And I'll explain what you need to do for the first step of that project. Now, in past semesters, when I and other professors have taught the statistics class here at Lincoln College, this project has been based on a survey of Lincoln College students, asking them questions about maybe their study habits, maybe their engagement in campus activities, or something about their Lincoln College experience. Now, there are complications involved in going out and surveying actual people, actual students. So for this project, for you guys, we're going to have like a simulated survey. I'm going to have you imagine that you have surveyed a bunch of people, and then you're going to be using Excel to do some analysis and organization and presentation of the data collected from that survey. So, in the situation for this project, imagine that you are managing an independent fast food restaurant. Not one of the big chains, just a little independent fast food place, and you want to survey your customers to find out various things about them and their habits and how they feel about your restaurant. So here are the questions that you're going to be asking the customers of your restaurant. Now, you're not really going to be surveying anybody, but I want you to think about if you were actually responsible for conducting this survey and collecting this data, think about how you would do that. How you would collect the data, how you would get your sample, how you would decide who to survey, and how you would actually find out the answers to these questions. So you're not going to have to actually do that, but I would encourage you to think about how you would if you were doing that. So the questions you would be asking would be about people's favorite sandwich, which of the sandwiches that you offer is their favorite, about how they order, how they normally prefer to get their food, whether they go in and eat inside the restaurant or go in and get an order to go or go through the drive-thru. How often they visit, like how many times during the last 2 months have you visited the restaurant? Maybe just once, maybe a dozen times. It has to be some number of times. To the nearest whole dollar, how much did you spend the last time you visited our restaurant? Like, was it from $1 to $5, $6 to $10, $11 to $15, $16 to $20, or $21 to $25? And then how would you rate the quality of our food, the speed of our service, and the friendliness of our service as either very good, good, fair, or poor? So those are the questions. Now here's what you're actually going to be doing as the first step. On Canvas, you will find the spreadsheet file that you'll be using and building on throughout this project. So down near the bottom of the main Canvas page, there's a module called Your Spreadsheet File for the project. So find the one for your name. Everybody gets a different one. There's mine. And when I click on that, it takes me to the page where I can see it and download it. So I want to download that to my computer. I can just click where it says download, and it will download it. Or I could right-click and select where I'm going to save it. That might be a good idea to make sure you know for sure where you are saving your file on your computer, so you know where to look for it. So I'm going to save that file in a location or a directory where I know where I can find it later. And then I'm going to open it. If you download it in something like Chrome, there's a place you can click just to open it right away. So you should have Excel on your computer. If not, there are ways you can install it. So as long as you have Excel on your computer, when you open up that spreadsheet, you might have to click on Enable Editing, but you'll come up with something that looks something like this. So here's a spreadsheet file. Make sure you're on the tab labeled Data Spreadsheet. There's also another tab that we'll be doing something with later in the semester, but right now we are here. And you'll notice that there are columns here for the various questions, and then in each column there is room for 50 responses, or actually 55 responses. Sorry, this should not say student, it should say customer. So I'm going to have you go ahead and change that. Click on where it says student up here in cell A2 and change that to the word customer. That student was a leftover from previous semesters when we were surveying students, but I wanted to say customer, so we'll change it to that. Now, in this first column, with the Q1 favorite sandwich heading, there should be responses from 51 customers. 55 sandwiches. But these first 5 rows are blank. That's to give you some practice at entering data into a spreadsheet like this. So I want you to fill in those first 5 rows so that they include choices just like all of the others, the rows for customers 6 through 55. And you can type those in, but if you do that, you have to be careful that you spell things exactly right and you format things exactly the same way they're formatted down here, that you don't have any extra spaces or mess up the capitalization or anything like that. So the easiest way to make sure that things are formatted exactly right is just to copy and paste. So if the first customer, if their favorite sandwich was the fish sandwich, the easiest way to put that in is just to find some cell down here that already says fish sandwich. Click on that. Go up here and click copy. And then go up here and click paste. So now we've pasted in an exact copy of what was down here. If the next person likes the chicken sandwich, we can copy that and then come up and paste it here, and maybe also paste it here, and maybe the next person likes the veggie burger, so I will copy and paste that, and then copy hamburger and paste it here. So you can type those in yourself, but if you do, be very careful that you spell and format everything exactly the same as it is in the rest of the data that's already there. If you wanted to include a different kind of sandwich besides those 4, you could. It would make things slightly more complicated because when you actually do the analysis on that question, there would be more than just those 4 categories if you include a new kind of sandwich. But it wouldn't be too much harder, so if you want to do that, you can, or you can just leave it with those 4. Now, in the next column, you need to fill in these top 5 rows with, well, each customer should either say drive-through, to go, or dine in. So make sure you fill in those top 5 rows with one of those 3 things. They don't have to all be different. They don't have to all be the same. You just pick. Fill in the top 5 rows of this column with number of visits. So these should be whole numbers. And this you can just type. So I can type in the number 1 or 2 or 10 if somebody's gone there 10 times, or 5, another 2, whatever numbers you think are reasonable. For the amount spent, this is another place where it's probably safest to do copying and pasting. So that remember the choices are 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, or 21 to 25. So make sure you fill in these 5 blank cells with things like that. And then Here you're filling in the responses to the questions about the quality, the speed, and the friendliness of the service. So once you've got all of these filled in, and it's up to you to decide what those responses are. Just fill them in with any responses of your choice that fit with the rest of the data. Now, once you have that all filled in, save your work. I'm going to click the little save button up here. And if you're sure you saved it and you know where it is on your computer, we can exit out of Excel. And now we just need to submit it through Canvas. So on Canvas, we need to find the assignment for Upload Excel Spreadsheet. Click where it says Submit Assignment. And down here, there's a place where you can do a file upload. By the way, if you saved it to your OneDrive on Office 365, you should be able to get it from there too. But if it's on your computer, on your hard drive, to upload it, click on Choose File, and then find the directory where you have it saved, and just select it, and then click on Submit Assignment. If everything went the way it should, you will see a little check mark, Submitted! Yay! And if you submitted the wrong thing or you need to go back and correct something, it is possible to resubmit the assignment. You can click on that, go back and choose a different file if you need to, and submit. So that's it. That's all you have to do for this first phase of the project. Then coming up, we'll be doing various things with the responses to those questions in that Excel spreadsheet. So from here on out, for every step, you'll always be starting with the same file that you've been working on all along, picking up where you left off, and doing something new to add on to it.